welcome to the Nasboys podcast. I'm your host, Mike, aka Mike Fob Fam 101, with my good friend and co-host Cam, aka Notice_Cam.
Howdy, y'all.
Now, Cam, I almost called you Christian because I'm used to doing this with Christian.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. I know. I feel like if I was in, you know what, with I don't know, between me and Christian, I feel like I'd get ours mixed up on like the Instagram tags more than
No offense,
anything.
no offense, obviously though, man. It's just I'm just I get you're busy. I'm just used to saying Christian first, but anyway.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. Welcome to the Nas Boys podcast, everybody. For the third season, we have done this. That is very crazy. Um, we are gonna get ready into the 2023 kind of season preview episode. So let's dive right into some of the news. Some of it we probably have covered before, but the rest of it we have not. So starting out with the obvious one, we got Kyle Busch going to Richard Childress Racing. Cam, what is your opinion on that?
I mean, I don't know. I'm in the midst of it. I mean, I think it's definitely gonna be weird just seeing him on a different team. I mean, that 18 car just
Right.
represents Kyle a lot. So, see him flip to a whole new team. I think it's definitely gonna bring a different aspect to it.
Hmm.
But I would like to see how he's gonna act with his old teammates. I think that's gonna be really interesting this year.
True. I mean, I think he'll be fine with his teammates because it wasn't their fault why he left. It was more so Gibbs's fault. But I think Kyle Busch is going to put on a show for everybody. He's had a few down years with Gibbs. Obviously he couldn't get the deal done because they couldn't find sponsorship when in reality Joe just wanted Ty to be in the car. But I hope to see Kyle Busch do well. I like him. I know that's kind of an unpopular opinion, but I like him. He's a great driver. I know he's a little bit of a whiny baby, but he's an excellent driver, and love him or hate him, he's one of the probably a top 10 driver or close to a top 10 driver of all time. And I have a crazy prediction for him later on in the episode when we get into that.
Yeah, I also agree with Mike. I think he's an amazing driver and he's really good at trolling people, which gets the clicks.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
I will say though, I like calling him Lay Bush because LeBron's a baby too and cries about everything. So
Yeah. All right, next up, we got Jimmy Johnson partnering with Petty GMS for part ownership of the team, and they rebranded the team to Legacy Motor Club. Johnson will also drive select races starting with the Daytona 500, or he's going to try to get into Daytona 500, that is, in the number 84 car sponsored by Carvana, which is on screen right here. Personally, I think that it's a shocking decision because Jimmy Johnson's other ventures in other motorsports have not been the most successful. I mean, IndyCar, he was kind of a back marker besides the oval tracks, which we all expected. His endurance racing was at best, and NASCAR is really his best home. But what's really surprising to me is that he went to like Petty compared to like Hendrick. I mean, Hendrick didn't really offer him something, I guess. I don't know. Um, it's going to be weird to see him in the number 84 car. I don't know how I feel about that number. I feel like they could have done like 44 or something or 94, but I understand why it's 84. But yeah, I think Jimmy Johnson will do decent, but I don't really like the name of the team that much. I think they could have done a little bit better with that.
yeah, it sounds like really cheesy. Like it's one of those like race car games that you get on like the
Right.
app store at like 11. Like age 11. Um, I will say I am kind of stupid. I just realized why they're saying 84 because 48. I just now realized that. Like that just clicked to me. But yeah, I definitely think it is weird, and I'm also with you, Mike. I thought like when they first announced that, I was like, and it's not with Hendrix. Like, what the heck?
Right. Right, I agree. I mean, I wish they would give him 48 though. It's not like other sports where they don't retire numbers, but whatever. I guess it's not that big a deal. Jimmy Johnson's going to be back, and it's going
Yeah.
to be cool to see him.
I will say this though. I actually do. I do like the fact that they don't retire numbers. I don't know if that's like something that some people think they should do. I don't though, because I still think you get to see the modernized version of those car numbers that
Right.
you wouldn't see. Like for example, like Richard Petty. Bro, you would never see that car ever again, like 20 years
Right.
ago. So it's like the fact that we get to see it in its new models, and yeah, I'm sure people can make like the newer version of it, but it's not as fun until you see it on that track. So, I always think
Right.
that's really cool. And plus, it kind of makes it competitive. It's like, hey, here's this guy that was once in this car and he lived up to it, an amazing status.
Right.
Try to beat it. Try to beat it.
See, on one hand, like I agree with that point. That is an amazing point. I was going to bring that up, but at the same time, I know why they don't retire numbers because they'll run out of numbers. Because let's say down the line they'll retire 18 for Kyle Busch, and then they'll just keep retiring numbers for all the great legends of the sport. I think that they should keep the numbers. Like I'm not saying they should retire them, but some numbers like 3 I felt like should have been retired. I don't like seeing Austin Dillon really drive the 3 that much, for example. I wish it would go to the Earnhardt family instead of Austin Dillon.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess the thing is though, it's like would Earnhardt himself want? I feel like he wouldn't want to leave a car out just because of him dying.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think he would want it to be with his son, Dale Jr., but I don't know. I mean, it is cool that you do get to see like the other generations in that car number.
Yeah, and you think like even though that car had someone better in the past tense, that car is still going, and it's kind of like I feel like that's its remembrance of the people in the past that was driving
Right.
that car. And oftentimes when you hear that car number, a lot of times you'll hear about the people that drove that car by commentators, and they kind of give history behind some of these cars. I mean, I just think it's
True.
really neat.
Speaking of which, we actually did a video on our opinions of the best driver in each car number, 0 through 100. Go check it out. Let's see. So NASCAR is updating its driver safety requirements. I'm trying to find exactly about what they're doing. So they're going to require drivers to wear a fire-resistant head sock, a helmet skirt, underwear, and socks. So I think the head skirt is kind of like what Kyle Busch wears, or the head sock is kind of like what Kyle Busch and like Haley Deegan wear. It's this. Um, Personally, I think this is a good move because they're doing this because of Jordan Anderson. If you guys don't remember what happened when people were really freaking out about concussions, there was a wreck at Talladega that involved Anderson and his truck caught on fire, and he ended up suffering third-degree burns even with the fire suit on.
Jordan Anderson. We talked about Jordan being in the field, and there is a lot of fire.
On fire, but get out.
Oh, man. Get that thing stopped.
And that's a big hit.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
That was, he didn't know where he was. He couldn't see where he was, and he knew he had to get out. So lucky that he was able to get above the wall and out that door. Holy cow, that was dramatic.
So I think this is a decent move, but I hope NASCAR did do enough to fix the concussion problem and not just the burning problem. I hope that they just fixed the safety problems with the cars in general.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I believe I don't know exactly what you're talking about, Mike, when you mean like the sock mask or whatever.
I
Are
can
you
show
talking
you a
about like, okay,
picture.
like what about like rappers? Do you know rappers that like wear like Poosh Icy? You know that little thing
Like
he wears?
like
Or is that what they're
do-rags?
talking about? What?
No, they're not talking about do-rags. I can show
No,
you a
not a
picture of it.
do-rag, dummy. It's like it's like the ski mask,
Oh,
but like the skin tight
oh my
ones.
God. Why? I know now what you're talking.
But
God.
like, but
Why?
not like the ski mask that's like fluffy, the skin tight one that's like black and small and skin. You know what
I
I'm talking about?
think that might be what
All right,
you're
hold on.
referring
See,
to.
now listen. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna search it up, and I'm gonna send you a picture, and then we're gonna put it on the screen so everybody knows what I'm talking about. Here, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna send you a screenshot, but we gotta put this up on here, okay?
Bet.
So they know that I'm not crazy. One of these, like that's what I thought. Hold on, is it taking a screenshot? There we go. Okay, hold on. I'm sending it to you, Mike. This is staying in the podcast, by the way. all this. Here, you're seeing what Mike is seeing right now.
All this. I think
Yes.
that's what they're referring to, and that's what I
Okay,
sent
that's
you.
what I'm thinking too, right? Like I'm not
Yeah.
crazy.
So I think that's what they mean. Somebody correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But yeah, I don't really know how I feel about that. I just hope that it does do its job, and I also hope that they fix the concussion problem.
Yeah.
So
I think the only problem that I see with those, the other thing I'd say too, is that I mean, you already see a lot of drivers so just from last season get overheated a lot.
yeah,
And so that's a lot of more clothing that they're gonna have to put on. I mean, and that can really affect the body temp. And I mean, I'm sure when you have
right.
something on your face like that and you're driving, you're already hot and sweaty. I can't imagine that's gonna make it any better.
Well, some of the drivers wear these things called cool suits, which is like a shirt, but it has like cooling stuff in it. I know like William Byron wore it, Denny Hamlin wears it, I think. Some of the drivers prefer not to wear it, and then some of them like they do wear it, obviously. I think it's just
Yeah.
personal preference, but I don't know. If I was there, I would probably wear it. And especially now that they're adding extra layers to the suits, definitely I would wear it, especially in the really like hot months and hot tracks like Phoenix, for example. So,
Yeah, right.
so this isn't NASCAR per se, but it's still cool. An ownership group, which included Dale Jr., Kevin Harvick, Justin Marks, and Jeff Burton, excuse me, have purchased the Cars Tour late model series. For those of you that don't know, that is the series where Dale Jr. raced in and he brought a huge crowd in North Wilkesboro. I think that's really cool I guess it's going to try to help put late model racing more on the map kind of nationally. So that's really cool. And if they may manage to like get it somewhere like on TV or something like that, I don't know if they are or not. I would watch it, no doubt.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I love when here's the thing. I don't really knock on any other like anything racing out there, right? I think there's expansion everywhere and I love it. And so like even there are some like certain things that I don't like watching, um I still like supporting them no matter what. And so, when you see new things come like this around, I love to support it. I love getting racing out there because I don't think it gets enough love.
Right. And then next up, we got Cole Custer. He's going down to the Xfinity Series, and Ryan Preece will replace him in the 41 car. Thank God this is happening. Cole Custer is not a great Cup Series driver. He's a much better Xfinity driver. He proved it in his starts with SS Greenlight this season, or last season, excuse me. Ryan Preece being in the Cup Series, I have mixed opinions about because on one hand, I didn't think he was the best driver and he was not necessarily ready for Cup Series level. But at the same time, that was with JTG. And we all know how they are. They suck. Stuart Haas is still a decent team. Um, and Ryan Preece has been very good in the other two series that he's driven in. So I'm very interested to see how he will do this season. I think he'll do decent, but I don't know if he'll get a win or not. But we'll see what happens. I think he'll be, and I
I
think that
think we'll see. I'm sorry, you go, Mike.
I was going to say I think Cole Custer will win the Xfinity Series championship. That's my early prediction.
I don't know. I think he'll do pretty good though. I do think on that. I will say though, um, I think Priest has had a lot. I think he's gonna do a lot better. Not only does he have a better team, I just think there's some more experience on his plate, and we
Right.
have to remember like he has had some Cup experience. Like he knows what he's going into.
Right.
So maybe that's what their thought was for that. But no, I definitely think that Custer needs to go down to Xfinity. I mean, he's really good. So I think he just needs to figure out his way for a little bit longer.
And I mean, how could we forget this is their best pick? Ryan Priest is probably their best pick, in my opinion, to replace Cole Custer because they can't pick Riley Herbst. Let's be real. Riley
No.
Herbst is not the best driver to pick. But something I did forget, and I don't know how I could have, is Kevin Harvick is going to retire at the end of this season. I pretty much called it because I know that Kevin Harvick is not happy with NASCAR. Can't say I blame him really. I know he's not happy with this car. He's not happy with the parts. And if he's not happy, then I'm glad that he's not going to race. So, but I'm
Yeah,
not
well,
happy
let's
to
not
see.
forget about his team either.
That's true. But yeah, I mean, I'm not happy to see Kevin Harvick go. I probably made it sound like I was. It's going to be sad because Kevin Harvick is, another driver that a lot of fans grew up with. And it's going to be hard seeing him go, but I think it's definitely the right time for him to leave. And I'm really interested to see what he'll do in his final season.
Yeah, he's somebody that I think will put up a good fight this year, just knowing his circumstances and knowing it's his last season, I think hopefully anyways we'll see him go out on a positive note. I do like Kevin Harvick, he was wild when he was younger, but I think he's calmed down a lot. And plus, who doesn't like that 4 car? I mean, the designs
Right.
that they put out every year on it, just so sweet. I love the schemes. But I'm definitely sad to see him go because he is a good racer, and he's someone that's been in the league for a long time.
Right. He's a true veteran, in my opinion. I mean, I
Yeah,
know a lot
same.
of people disagree with his opinions, but out of a lot of the veterans in the sport, he knows what he's talking about. There's only a few drivers that really, really know what to do in certain situations. They know about the car. Kevin Harvick is one of those guys. It's really amazing to listen to him and his knowledge about the sport and how he's raced in so many different eras when he filled in for Dale Sr. when he was in his 20s.
All
So
right. Yeah, let's just say I would listen to Kevin Harvick before I would listen to Denny Hamlin any day.
true. And I think there's definitely a broadcast spot waiting for Kevin Harvick. He's another great driver that's, again, knowledgeable, and he's really good on the mic.
Speaking of commentating, isn't Tony Stewart supposed to be commentating again for the
Yes.
Clash?
Yeah, he's going to do the Clash, and he's also going to do the Daytona 500.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah, he did the 500 last year, and I think he did a good job.
I
And he
know.
did
I
a
want
few
him. I
other
want him in
races
the booth
too.
more.
I agree. I think he should be in the booth more. Let's see. We got Travis Pastrana. Speaking of the Daytona 500, he will drive the number 67 for 2311 in the Daytona 500. That's obviously an uncharted car, but I'm surprised that 2311 is doing another third car. And Travis Pastrana, don't get me wrong, I like Travis Pastrana. I think he's a cool guy, but I'm just surprised that they picked him, and I'm surprised in general that they're doing a third car. Really? That's basically going to be a fifth Joe Gibbs car. That's going to be a lot of money. I wonder if it's just mostly for Toyota to try to get them more competitive for the 500 since they don't have as many cars compared to some of the other manufacturers. I don't know, but this it's a little odd, but still kind of cool to see Travis Pastrana, and Kurt Busch apparently wants to make a couple of starts in that car when he gets medically cleared, which I'm surprised he hasn't been.
I tell you now though, man. It's just what they're doing is really bold.
Right.
Having 3 cars, I mean, it's just they're such a young team too. I just
Right.
it's actually crazy what they're doing. But I definitely kind of took that in the shock when I saw that. I was like, well. But I do think you have a really good point that I didn't think about, that maybe Toyota wants to bring in more competitors, into the 500. But no, I definitely think it is a cool opportunity to have Kurt Busch come back in and maybe race a couple.
Hopefully, we'll see if he does. We got Chandler Smith. He will race in the Xfinity Series with colleague in the number 16, and he will also be trying to qualify for the Daytona 500. I think this is a good opportunity for Chandler. Obviously, Kyle Busch Motorsports went to Toyota, or not Toyota, excuse me, Chevy, and then they lost really all their good talent. They're still a Truck Series team, for those of you that don't know. They have couple of drivers that I'm not really that fond of. I think one was Chase Purdy. I think they're gonna have Jack Wood on for a couple of races. Just drivers that I was not expecting them to have. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm happy for Chandler Smith that he's finally able to move up. And but Toyota, on the other hand, lost another great prospect. They've had so many good prospects and just lost another one.
Yeah, no, I actually love that move for Chandler Smith. I think he's going to do great things in Xfinity, and I'm excited to see him in something else besides a truck. That's always cool because he has some exciting racing. So, I think
Right.
it's going to be pretty cool to see what he can do.
Yeah, and it's another big win for Colleague, by the way.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see, what else could we talk about on this show? I mean, Kyle Busch Motorsports really fell off, in my opinion. They're gonna fall off. They have two of the worst drivers in the truck series now.
Yeah, they're going into the NASCAR graveyard sooner than later.
Yeah, for sure. And then another team, Tricon Garage, they're the team that took over Kyle Busch Motorsports for Toyota to be the Toyota truck team. They lost Haley Deegan and they transferred over to Toyota. So Deegan is still in the Ford camp, by the way. And then she's going to drive with the 13 truck for Thor Sport. And Tricon has Dean Thompson. Who else do they got? William Sawwich for Haley Deegan's old truck. So I don't know what to say about that. I mean, they still got the Gray brothers, but Dean Thompson, man, he's not that great of a driver. That's another team that's really kind of falling off. They used to be David Gilliland Racing, by the way.
Yeah, Thompson and then Salich. I mean, it's just rough team, rough team.
Sawwich is some late model guy. I don't know anything about him. He could be the best driver for all I know.
No, I've seen him.
Oh, he sucks.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh boy.
Salvage is a little soggy. I'll just say that.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Not
saw.
good.
Yeah.
And I guess the last thing to kind of for news wise, we got Chase Briscoe signing a multi-year deal to rejoin the 14 car for a multi-year deal, which is
Not
expected.
surprised.
Yeah, I mean that's probably what should have happened. But yeah, I guess now we can talk about our predictions for the season. I think that this season will be good, obviously. Let's see. My early season like championship picks for trucks. Man, I don't even know if I have a pick for the truck series yet. Xfinity, I already said Custer. And for Cup, I got Kyle Busch winning the championship. He'll win 3 races or 3 to 4 races.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. We're gonna go a little crazy here. I don't know about trucks yet either. I don't know. That's too little before me before I can even make a decision like that. Because trucks is always just a big giant guess. I mean, it's really hard to tell with them. But Xfinity, I think Gregson. Gregson's gonna
Wait,
go.
Gregson's not in Xfinity.
Oh shoot! No, who am I thinking of? Hold on. No, not Barry. God no.
Allgaier?
Yeah, thank you, Allgaier.
Okay.
Why did I think Gregson? Oh my gosh. No, Allgaier. Allgaier's winning it.
Okay. And then
Which
for
is
the
your
Cup.
okay, so I kind of told Mike and Christian my dark horse pick would be Tyler Reddick.
Right.
And then, I don't really consider him a dark horse pick in my opinion. Now Mike did, and I don't look at him as a dark horse. I think he's gonna do it this year. I got William Byron, man.
William Byron. Is William Byron a dark horse? Because I picked William Byron.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you said he's a dark horse, and I didn't think that.
I
I
mean,
kind of thought he's my main guy, main. I mean, he's big enough where I wouldn't consider him a dark horse.
see, he is big enough, but like when you think of championship contenders, does William Byron really cross your mind?
I mean, he's been close, has he not?
I mean, he's been close, but not as close as like Logano, Elliott,
Yeah, but
Hamlin.
okay, hold on. But in my mind though, well, let me just say this out because I might be completely wrong how Dark Horse is going. But in my mind, like the way I've always looked at it was, so like let's say Logano, Chase Elliott, Kyle. I mean, well, we'll just put Kyle Busch in
Larson.
the mix. Larson, Chastain, those guys, right?
Right.
Those guys are givens. Those are like the
Right.
givens. Then you have the mediocre people like Byron, um, and guys like that. And those
Right.
aren't considered dark horses because I feel like they're known, they have a decent fan base. And then you have like the rookies and the guys that are fairly, I wouldn't say new to NASCAR or anything like that, but just like the people that, don't get always a lot of the love or the most attention and they're kind of just in the background.
Right.
So, and you have guys like Tyler Reddick and Stenhouse, but Stenhouse is but just some of those guys. So yeah, I would consider that. But no, I think Byron's gonna do it this year, man.
Byron. I mean, that's an
He's
interesting
looked
pick.
really sharp, dude. He's been really sharp.
He has. I think he is getting closer to a championship. I mean, one guy that did surprise me was Christopher Bell. We talked about that a little bit, and
Yeah.
I think that Christopher Bell will have another good season. He's going to build off this momentum, and I think that he'll get at least one or two more wins this season. At
Ooh,
least, at
yes,
least.
I agree. And I think one of those will also be a short track, in my opinion.
Right. I had him for the Bristol Oval when they do the night race.
Yeah. See, that would make it. Yeah, and then another person I'd say to watch out for, which he's always sneaky, but man, I swear he seems to get better, is Blaney.
Blaney, yeah.
Yeah,
I
dude,
think that
Blaney's making away.
I think that Blaney is really frustrated that he didn't win a race this year. He made the playoffs, but he didn't win a race besides the All-Star race. So I think he's really frustrated about that. And he
And
needs to prove that he's still around to contend. So
here's
I
my
would
problem though.
expect Blaney to do good this year.
Yeah, here's my problem though. Is with Blaney, he's kind of like, uh, to me, I think sometimes he gets some hate on him that I don't appreciate because it's like he may not be winning, but he's in the top five constantly. And if he's not number one, he's number two in a lot of those
True.
races where he should have won. I mean, I could recall at least four races where he could have won and he ended up being second.
I agree.
So, I mean, he is just there. I think maybe he gets under pressure, or I mean, I don't know what goes on, but I mean, sometimes it's just unluckiness.
True. Let's see. I mean, comment down below some of your drivers that you guys want to see us review. I think we should do that in the next episode because I don't really know who exactly to talk about. One guy I do want to talk about though, actually, is AJ Allmendinger. He's going to drive the 16, I believe, full time or some car full time. I'm not sure what car he's driving. I believe it is the 16 though. And he's gonna. I think he'll make the playoffs. I think he'll win at least one race, and I think he's gonna win the new street course.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, that may no. I see that. No, I do see that.
And I have an even bolder prediction. AJ Allmendinger will go at least to the round of 12.
Okay, okay, that's okay. That's a little bold. That's a more bolder one. That's definitely bold. Now, I will say someone who I do think you have to watch out for these, and especially that new street course is Austin Cindric.
Yeah,
I mean, he is a road course king in my opinion. I mean, he's up there with Chase Elliott. So, definitely got to watch out for him. I think he's going to be pretty good this year too.
yeah, I think he'll do a lot better than his rookie season.
Yep.
Now time for the clash picks. Last year's winner, Joey Logano, obviously, but I don't think I'm gonna go with him this year. I'm gonna go with Kyle Busch.
I'm going with the other Kyle as in Kyle Larson.
Larson. Okay. Well, so with that, that will conclude this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Make sure you guys follow our socials, and we will see you guys in the next episode.
Peace. Hold on real quick before Mike ends the video. I know we just pieced this off, guys, but I would like to say, comment down below some things you'd like us to talk about. I don't know if we've said this in the past, but me, Mike, and Christian are hopefully going to do a Nasboys Talks podcast where we just talk about random crap. So give us some
Yeah.
ideas to talk about, because I promise you, me, Mike, and Christian are all three funny guys, and we can make anything work.
For sure. All right. Peace, guys.
Peace.
You want me calling now, you wanting what I think.